This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
A Torah Anytime original series.
Not long ago, I was on a Cathay Pacific flight from New York to Hong Kong with my two kids. One was 4 and one was 1, and already a questionable decision. And we board the plane, and I'm feeling cautiously optimistic. Maybe they'll sleep, maybe I'll get a few quiet hours, who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky. And 2 minutes later, the flight attendant comes over to us and says, so, about your kosher meals, well, they didn't make it on the plane. I'm like, what do you mean they didn't make it on the plane? She's like, oh, yeah, we forgot to bring them on the plane. So I'm like, why don't you go get them? She's like, it's too late. I'm thinking to myself, well, here we go. This is going to be an interesting 16-hour flight with 2 kids and no food. Well, we'll manage. But then we start taking off, and one kid decides that this would be the absolute perfect time to scream like she's being kidnapped. And my other kid suddenly needs a very specific type of bottle that apparently cannot be replaced by any other type of bottle on planet Earth. And before I know it, something spills. I still don't know what it was, and shoes are off, and then they're on, and they're on again, and we kicking the person in front of us who looks a lot like a wrestler, and then we lose my kid's shoe. I'm crawling under the seat to try and find it, and then the grand finale, my 1-year-old throws up. So at this point, I'm accepting my fate. I'm not preparing anything. I'm not relaxing. I am just trying to survive this with some minimal level of dignity. So I pick up my kid and I start pacing the aisle like every other desperate parent on a long flight. And I end up near first class and I start schmoozing with a man sitting there. Now, first class on Cathay Pacific from New York to Hong Kong is not just a nicer seat. It is a completely different world. The guy is stretched out, he's calm, he's eating real food on real plates, sipping something that definitely did not come in a plastic cup. And I'm standing there holding a semi-asleep child, hoping that she doesn't wake up and declare war on the entire airplane. So we start talking. 5 minutes turns into 10, 10 turns into 20, we're schmoozing for a while, and slowly his story starts coming out. He's Jewish, he grew up normal, and at some point things went sideways. He ran off. He got involved in things he shouldn't have got involved in. He had kids with a woman from Vietnam. The relationship fell apart. She left, disappeared, and now he's flying to Vietnam trying to find her, not to rebuild a family, but to just convince her to take the kids back because he doesn't want to raise those kids. That is his life. So we stood there talking about it, all his pain, his regret, his confusion. Eventually, we part ways. He goes back to his fully reclining luxury $10,000 seat, and I go back to my Bamba-encrusted seat in the back of the plane, no food, 2 exhausted kids, crumbs everywhere, and a smell that I chose not to investigate. And I sit down and I start thinking, who is actually happier? Because we do this all the time. We look at someone in first class in life, and instantly our brain fills in the story. They must be happy. They must have everything figured out. Calm, control, peace. We've trained ourselves to equate happiness with the outside comfort, luxury image. But the truth is they have nothing to do with each other. It is a complete lie and a mistake. You can be sitting in first class and be empty, and you can be in the back of the plane, exhausted, overwhelmed, surrounded by chaos, and feel genuine happiness inside. Because happiness isn't about what's around you, it's about what's inside of you. And that is what Yom Tov is all about. Not just better food, nicer clothing, asking yourself, am I actually happy, or am I just sitting in first class? Because let's be honest, Yom Tov can sometimes feel a little chaotic. There's kids running laps like it's a marathon. There are grandkids who are dumping bags of chips like it's a competitive sport. There's crumbs somehow reaching places that defy physics. Someone's crying, someone's laughing too loud. The table you spent hours setting looks like it just went through a minor natural disaster. But sometimes it's worth pausing in the middle of all that chaos and looking around and reminding yourself, there are people in this world who would pay a lot of money for your chaos. And if you could feel that, if you can feel the beauty inside the mess, then it doesn't matter where you're sitting on the plane, you are always in first class.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.